Hi everybody, listen, if you are a follower of Elisa Videra, either on LinkedIn or on YouTube, you would know that we love talking about everything relating to video conferencing. But there's one area of our business that we haven't spoken about too much, and that is digital signage, and in particular, workplace signage. So we're going to sink our teeth into that one today, and with me I have Kaius Asteljoki from Valotalive. Kaius, welcome.
Thank you, Rasmus. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. Let's start with a simple question. What is workplace signage?
Workplace Signage is the software and the solution designed for workplace. With that, companies can communicate with their employees via digital screens or groups of digital screens you might have in your office, lobbies, or on the production shop floors in manufacturing facilities.
So big screens mounted on, for example, walls and so on.
Right.
But why would any organization do that? They may have perfectly functioning email distribution lists or intranet pages. Why the heck would they invest in screens?
Well, it really depends on who you are trying to achieve, what is your target audience, and where, when, and how you would like to reach them. Intranet and email are more of a pull media. It requires an action from the user to get there, whereas workplace signage is a push media. We broadcast the message out, the screen is here, it's almost hard to avoid.
Well, it is indeed hard to avoid if you have something that is visually compelling and you have a big screen there. What are the benefits of doing that though?
Yes, well, if we look at, I can give you two examples. If we talk about the standard office environment as an example, we have the knowledge workers. We know they are already exposed to intranet and email news and messages, but it is a great tool to amplify those messages to them. All they need to do is lift their eyes off the computer screen and look at the message on the wall.
Which is, by the way, something we are being asked to do on a regular basis, to take breaks and walk around if we're in the office,
exactly.
For example. So knowledge workers. Anyone else?
Yes, then in the same building we have the non-desk workers. We are talking about facility management, contractors, or maintenance teams.
Yes.
These people still need the same messages and information and guidance to help them to perform well in their job.
And it's kind of an interesting thing that you mentioned these two target groups, because they may be visiting the office, you know, obviously knowledge worker during office hours and these other people during non-office hours. So the same investment would be serving two different target groups, wouldn't it?
The same investment will be serving the target groups for sure. You can schedule your messages and use the same media for different audience groups.
That's a really good point. What about customers or visitors visiting an office?
Yes. We have two case examples here. First of all, if you take your customers visiting your office, you can create a very welcoming environment for them using workplace signage. We are talking about welcome messages, guidance, general information, and so on. Then we have the visitor centers or customer experience centers, where you can create very branded experiences to elevate your key messages through rich and visual content.
And we're looking at the same system, same screens and so on for different types of purposes, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So I think the key message you're trying to convey here is that workplace signage shouldn't be thought about as being a separate channel. It should be there to enhance or to amplify a message that you're trying to get through anyways. And one thing that I find particularly interesting is the fact that you don't spend an awful lot of time in front of the screen, and sometimes getting information that may be difficult to absorb or even difficult to understand, like data, could be used in a visualized format to then be displayed and showcased to visitors.
Yes, I'm glad that you brought that up. Data and dashboards and KPIs is a very highly requested use case, and one example here could be repurposing Microsoft Power BI, which is Microsoft Business Analytics and Visualization tool. They have dashboards and business insights there, but not very many people have access to that data. So it makes sense to broadcast that information out while it still would have an impact for these people's works.
And people who are relying on that data may not actually know how to use Microsoft Power BI in the first place. So getting it in front of them actually might have some benefits to it.
Yes, that's true. And from communications point of view, this is a task that requires no extra work, hence the automation to get the data out there using digital signage, because once the data updates, the screens will update automatically. And from the recipient's point of view, it is a very easy to use channel and channel to absorb your information.
Listen, I buy that completely. But if I'm out there and I'm thinking, well, okay, so workplace signage could be something for me. How should I organize my thoughts? What should I do? And in what sort of train of decisions do I need to make?
Well, to start with, think about your target audience. Who are you trying to reach, and what type of impact are you looking to create?
Yes.
And but the best rule of thumb is just to start. Get used to the system, see how it works, and most of all, see how your target audience responds to your messages.
So getting started obviously is the place to start. But many organizations have a ton of data, and I think the reluctance to start with net new content and start creating new content to push into the channel may be pretty big. So what about repurposing existing content? Is that a big no-no, or what's your view on this?
Yes, repurposing and automating the content updates is the key, and that's where we say that these people should start with. So take a look at your content, but be smart about it. Don't spam everything out there, but be selective. And actually, Valotalive gives you the tools where you can pick and choose the content that is relevant for your target audience. And you can also group your target audiences and specify this content to them, even down to the level of one specific display.
So key takeaway here would be to have an idea on what you want to communicate, have an idea on whom you want to communicate to, and then I guess just get started, right?
Exactly.
So if you are looking to get started and you feel like Valotalive could be a solution for you, we do offer a free trial. You can find the link to the trial in the post text here. We do recommend that you take advantage of this. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much, everyone out there. We hope that you found this to be an interesting piece of content. We do publish this sort of content on a regular basis, so do follow us on LinkedIn or on YouTube. Thank you so much, and have a fantastic day.